Hello students. In our last few videos we have been explaining about market failure. We know that market failure happens when the provision of a product by the free market is greater than or less than the social optimum level. And we have also analyzed in our previous videos that social optimum is attained when marginal social benefit is equal to marginal social cost. In this video we are going to explain about common property resources and externalities connected with common property resources and tragedy of commons. Common property resources are those to which anyone has free access. These are the resources which are owned by the society or the public. Externalities arises when resources are used without payment. Market failure happens from the overexploitation of common access resources or common property resources. We have already said that the common property resources are having free access. As a result, they are likely to be overutilized. This leads to the tragedy of commons. Examples of these common property resources are fisheries, forest, the environment, fertile soil or fertile land, minerals, fossil fuels like petrol, diesel, etc. These kinds of resources are extensively used by the individuals of the society and it is termed as tragedy of commons. This is a problem that arises when individual neglect the well-being of the society. He gives priority to his personal gain. Automatically this leads to overconsumption and ultimately depletion of this common resource. An individual is not considering the effect of his consumption on this resource and ultimately it will be extensively used and leads to the depletion of this common resource. The tragedy of commons or inefficiency related with extensive use can be explained with the help of an example. Here we are considering the case of a lake. This is a large lake with unlimited number of fishermen are catching fish from this resource. Since large number of fishermen is having access to this resource, this can be considered as a common property and automatically each fisherman will catch fish until their marginal revenue is equal to the marginal cost of fish catch. Here no individual fisherman take into account how his fishing affect the opportunities of others. So as a result, the fisherman's private cost is only considered for calculation of equilibrium or calculation of catch and therefore extensively they are catching fish from the lake. This leads to inefficiency where too much fish are caught. Such a situation can be explained with the help of a figure. For the same, we have taken x-axis on y-axis. On x-axis, fish per month, catch of fish per month is plotted, and on y-axis, benefit or cost from fishing is plotted. Here, as compared to the demand for fish, the catch is sufficiently negligible or small, and so each fisherman consider price of his fish is constant at a particular demand D. Therefore, this demand curve or price curve is parallel to x-axis. Now we are going to plot the marginal private cost of fishing. This is the marginal private cost of fishing As the next we are going to draw marginal social cost of fishing. We know that marginal social cost will be higher than that of marginal private cost, and therefore marginal social cost is MSC line. The efficient level of fish catching is identified where marginal social cost is equal to demand, that is at this point T, where the total fish catch is OF star. Here in case of point T, we have considered the social cost of fishing, that is we have considered the stock of the fish. Total stock of the fish reduction is the social cost, therefore we have considered it, and therefore we can say that revenue generated at point T is greater than that of cost. The total revenue generated will be OPTF star, that is OPTF star, which is greater than, this is the total revenue, that is greater than the social cost OLTF star. This OPTF star is the total revenue, and OLTF star is the total cost of. Therefore, revenue is greater than cost. This is the efficient condition. But when this lake is a common property, marginal social cost is not considered. Therefore, too much of fish is caught. Such a point is identified where the equilibrium is marginal private cost is equal to demand, that is point R, where the total fish catch is OFC. When there is extensive catching of fish, the total cost of catching is greater than that of revenue. The total cost is OLT1FC. This is the cost which is greater than the revenue OPRFC. That is OLTFC. This is the total cost, but the revenue is only this much. Here, when extensive catching of fish happens, the social cost of fish catching is greater than that of the revenue generated. This is an inefficient condition, and it leads to extensive use of the resource and resource depletion. The same problem can also be explained with the help of a demand and supply curve. Here we are considering the supply and demand for sea fish. Here we have considered the demand and supply of fish tuna. On x-axis we have taken quantity, and on y-axis price of the product. At the initial stage, the total available tuna or supply of tuna will be this much. Here we are drawing the supply curve as vertical or inelastic, because the total fish available at a particular point of time remains the same. Here there is very large quantity of tuna available in the sea, but the total demand for tuna is very low because only few people are living in the world, and therefore lesser quantity is demanded. Therefore, QS is the supply and QD is the total demand for the product. It means that the total availability of the product is more than that of demand, that is, there is this much excess quantity is available in the world. But after a long time in the second stage, when there is increased demand for seafood due to increased nutrition requirements of the increased population, there is an extensive increase in demand. This leads to the shift of demand curve to the right side. That is, demand curve will become D2 or QD2 will be the demand curve. As a result of extensive catch, the supply of the fish decreases to S2 or QS2. This is the new supply curve. At this stage, this much will be the shortage of fish at zero price. The same process repeat again in the long run. If the product is extensively used, then the demand for the fish will be increased to QD3 or D3 QD3, and as a result of extensive use, the supply also decreases to QS3 or S3 QS3. If price of this product is kept as zero again, then it will be extensively used. There will be this much amount of excess demand. There is this much amount of shortage for the commodity. That is, if the product's price is zero, then it will be extensively used. As a result, the shortage increases. The solution to this problem is the setting up of a price to this product. In the absence of pricing system, the natural resources will be extensively used. And it is applicable to all types of common property resources. The solution of extensive use of natural resources is to make a single owner or agency. That is the first solution. An agency to manage these resources. Second is setting up of user fee. A user fee can be charged from the users. And third method is government regulation or control or government ownership. These are the common methods or solution to the problem of extensive use of natural resources. In the next video, we will be explaining about public good and market failure. Thank you.